Well, that's certainly moxie, putting it out there that you have bought a welder to make your own material. All I can say is jump in, the water's fine. I took, when I started my career in the family business when I was 20, um, a long time ago, I took welding class. I had a couple of years of college, and I left college to go into the family business. And welding is a big part of what we do and have done historically when it comes to the preparation of hollow metal steel door frames. In order to rework, redefine, re-engineer our workflow within the company, I needed to understand the process of welding, so I went to welding class. The short version of this is if you're going to try to weld, welding is more art than it is practical knowledge, meaning you will enjoy it as if you might take a blank canvas and go buy a palette of colors and some brushes and just goof around with it. The same sort of stimulation that you have in your mind from painting, you'll get from welding as well. And in fact, a welder is a tool that you will find use for the rest of your life. Now, if I was going to try to make something, I would specifically buy or have bought a welder like the Miller 135. That's my tool of choice. And I think it's a different part number nowadays, but that will take a flux core wire. It's a MIG welder that will take wire that has flux core in it, meaning when you weld, you need the steel and you need the flux. The flux facilitates the chemical reaction, so you need both components. So buy flux core wire so that you're not dealing with gas. If your material thickness is substantial, you will be in good shape, meaning if you're trying to weld something that's 18 gauge, that's going to be a epic challenge for a beginner. That's not for the beginner. But if you're going to try to weld something that's the thickness of that Stanley pivot, the key is this: practice on some scraps first, and you need to have enough heat getting into the steel itself to liquefy that base material so that the flux, the core that you're pumping into it, can immediately join that molten pool of metal and make work what you need to make work. You must wear protection, most certainly on your eyes. The brightness of a welding arc is brighter than the sun. You must have that. If you are not covered on your face and gloves, you're going to get a sunburn, and it'll be a nasty sunburn. It won't just be you were in the sun for half an hour too long. It's going to hurt for 3 days, and it will be a pain that's more severe actually than just sunburn. So complete protection. Practice on sample pieces, thick material, and don't be afraid to get the heat going. You've got to liquefy that base in order to make it proper. And frankly, it was probably the second or third class that I was quite frustrated. But at that point, I had a moment of clairvoyance, and for the last 25 years, I can weld today like I could then, and which isn't saying much, but I got it. And once I got it, you got it. Once you know how to ride a bicycle, you don't ever forget welding's the same way. I would very much like to see what you end up working with and coming out with on this project. Thank you.